You're listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I am Faith.
Hey Faith, I got a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Do we have any Patreon supporters to thank?
We do. We've got some really awesome Patreon supporters.
Name them.
Samantha.
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 Hi. And Sarah.
Sarah.
No H.
You're awesome.
Thank you, Sarah.
And Dimitri.
Dimitri, thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys
Samantha,
are awesome.
Sarah, Dimitri, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, I got another question.
Sure, go ahead.
You are Instagram famous.
Sort of.
You are Facebook gorgeous.
I've only got about a couple thousand Instagram followers. I need 5,000 to be an influencer.
Follow Faith on Instagram.
Link down below.
How do you look so good in all your pictures? Do you just look good in every single picture you take?
I have a number of photos of me that look fantastic. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you do.
I've got some great pictures.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I also have loads of really, really crappy pictures that I should be deleting off my hard drive and off my phone.
Now, loads, you're thinking hundreds, thousands,
Tens
4 or 5?
of thousands.
Why don't you delete those?
Because
Seriously.
then I have to go in and delete them, and then I get starting depressed that I don't look good in any of these pictures.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'll go in and I'll delete like 500 in a night, and then I'll just be like,
I'm so ugly.
None of these suck. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see how that can be hard on the psyche.
Yeah.
But you have so many good ones. I don't understand.
Well, it's about volume. You know those asshole guys who like hit on every girl who walks down the street and they're like, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
That's how pictures work. It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, just like that.
So what you're saying is you need to take 1,000 pictures to get that one good one.
To get one good one.
In general, you do like 30, you do like 100.
In general, I will do, if I'm setting out to do like, oh, I got this new outfit or I've got new hair and I just want to show it off a little bit. Or it's the perfect time of day or whatever and I want to get out there. I will literally take probably 300 to 600.
300 to 600.
And I'll usually get about 5.
Okay.
Out of that I really like, maybe 10.
And are you doing like, or are you doing like pose 5, pose 5, pose 5?
Yeah,
okay.
Usually like that.
That seems like time consuming.
Because it probably takes about an hour, but you're getting photos constantly. Again, most of those you're going to discard.
But the ones you keep,
the ones you keep, that's the thing.
All right, so for our listeners, for those of our listeners who are interested in maybe posting some selfies or some progress pics or just want to look cute on Instagram or Facebook, how do you take good photos? Other than the numbers game. Obviously, just take all the pictures you can. No one's using film anymore. If you are, God bless. We know you're using your phone or a digital camera. Take infinite pictures.
Yeah, definitely.
But we don't want them all to be garbage. How do we have good ones?
Okay, so we're going to run through some kind of tips and tricks. Now, I should point out, this will work for the vain amongst us.
The vain amongst us.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't necessarily a particularly transy topic.
Sure. I mean, it's good for a lot of people, but
it is.
I feel like a lot of our trans listeners, and I mean, even a lot of cisgender people, get a lot of affirmation from having attractive photos of themselves.
I think
and people say, oh, you look so great. Oh, you look so cute. And oh, that shimmer on your eyeshadow is so perfect. You know, it's affirming.
Yeah.
There's shitty people who say bad things about photos also, but I trust our listeners to know their risk-benefit ratio and act accordingly when posting photos.
Also, there's something that you told me once upon a time when I was saying, oh my gosh, I take so many pictures. I must be the most vain person ever that Carly Simon would write songs about me. And you were like, but you missed out on decades of pictures of you as the right gender presentation. So it makes sense. You got to catch up.
You are catching up.
So those of us who have moments where you can present as your preferred gender for a small amount of time. For those who are exploring, presenting as their gender for longer. For those who just like playing around with different looks, different genders, different styles, different agender looks, different androgynous looks. This can be really affirming.
Photos
this
are
can be a great
tool.
way to remember kind of those adventures you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's information. And before we get off the topic of vanity, and we're not going to talk about that anymore because that's bullshit for many reasons, but we are a very visual species. Pictures of yourself as your true gender, especially if you're getting used to the idea, especially if you're figuring out your look, that's important. Those are important things to have. Those are affirming. Those are helpful. Those help you track your own progress. Do not ever feel vain or ashamed or let anyone tell you that selfies or photos or portraits are a waste of time or money. This is important stuff. If this is a kind of thing that you like to do and you like to have, do it. Oh my God.
Yeah,
why would you not?
Yeah. Don't let the haters get you down.
No, don't
about
ever
this
let
or
the haters.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the lessons.
Let's get into some fun stuff. So one of the first things I definitely recommend is if you're shooting indoors, have a good, clear, like open area.
Okay.
Like if you've got a busy, cluttered space, you haven't straightened up your room in a while or something like that. Sure. There's a bunch of junk on the wall, like a TGI Fridays.
Ugh.
You might want to clean that up. Find a good open space to take photos.
So are you saying hang up a blanket or take all your pictures down?
You can. I actually once upon a time I went and got a bunch of like Dollar Yard black fabric.
Okay.
So I could like duct tape it up to my wall to get pictures.
Yeah.
I've also definitely we have our exposed brick wall in this apartment, and followers on my Instagram, follow me down below, will notice that I often use that brick wall background, and I take the picture that's hanging up there off the wall when I use it. That
makes sense. Yeah.
So,
yeah, because you just want the background.
I just want the background.
And this is about you being the focus of the picture, not your diploma and your Pearl Jam poster and your collection of photos on your bulletin board. You're the focus.
It is a really nice Pearl Jam poster.
Why do you still have a Pearl Jam poster?
Because it's autographed by Stone Gossard.
Okay, good point.
Yes. And bass player Jeff Ahmet. One-time drummer Jeremy Irons. I think that's his name. Okay.
No, Jeremy Irons is an actor.
I think Jeremy Irons was also a drummer of Pearl Jam.
Like the same guy? I don't know. Maybe Jeremy Irons
might be the same guy.
Fuck if I know. Okay.
Yeah. Next up, you've got your nice clear space where you're going to take your pictures.
Right.
Light. Like if you've ever seen a professional photo shoot or a movie shoot or even just in TV, you've seen it. You'll notice there's lots of lights up. Tons of lights. Light is the fuel that feeds beauty.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you just think that up?
No.
Or is that in the Bible?
That's in the Bible.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, right?
Book of Jeremiah. Yep. 7:21.
Look it up. It's really
Don't even bother to look it up. It's just I already read the verse. So fans of the Gender Rebels know we're big into the Lamentations of Jeremiah.
Fans. Huge Jeremiah fans.
So the thing is, more light is gonna get you better pictures. Anyone who's ever taken a photo at night knows this.
Isn't too much light a bad thing?
Too much light is a bad thing. Obviously, it can wash you out.
Yeah.
Too much light can wash you out, but light is really what makes pictures great.
Okay. Now, I know for a fact that if it's a sunny day, you don't want to take a picture in straight sunshine.
You absolutely don't.
Okay. That sounds like too much light to me.
Yeah. It is, and it's also harsh light. So, actually, the best light you can get is reflective light. And that is light that is bouncing off something else.
Okay.
Light that is filtered through a semi-transparent membrane. That's a gross word.
It is.
Screen or something like that. You'll often see in photo shoots, there'll be people holding up big silver discs. That is to kind of get reflected light on a person.
Okay.
If you go out in daylight, harsh daylight, a bright middle of the day, and take a photo in the light, you will notice heavy shadows over your eyes. A ton of harsh shadows.
It's ghoulish. Yeah.
It'll look ghoulish. Actually, the best way you can get light when it's like a bright sunny day is to find a shadow and go stand in that shadow and put your camera where it's light.
Yes.
Hold your camera out in the light and then, or use a tripod or whatever, and that'll be in the light and you're in the shadow.
This actually works really, really well. And I remember trying it out with some friends and they're like, no, then you're in the dark. I'm like, no, it's not dark. I can see you as we stand in this shadow. There's light, and it's light that's reflected off the walls and the streets and the trees and everything else. Diffused light is what we're talking about. Yes, that works really, really well.
One of the other things about light, if you want to set up kind of a home bedroom studio, home living room studio, you can get sheets of poster board, which are cheap.
Oh.
They're white, they're reflective. White poster board. Don't get like green poster board and come complain to us.
Yeah.
White poster board, that's reflective. That's like kind of the cheap DIY way to get kind of some reflectors. You can kind of put those around your room and that can help.
Is that better than just white walls?
Can be if you're kind of directing it at yourself a little bit.
Okay.
Try things. Play around with things. That's kind of the way you're going to get.
Buy one piece of white poster board. And if someone gives you a hard time, say you're making a sign for the next protest march.
Yeah.
And then use it. We'll see you at the march.
Use the back for protest signs. Use the front for reflecting light. See? Perfect. So you want to get your light source kind of reflecting off either, one of these poster boards. Yeah, so if you have artificial light from a lamp, if you have light from a window or whatever, see if you can kind of get it to bounce around. That's going to diffuse the light. It's going to look less harsh.
Okay, but you still want lighting, just not harsh lighting.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then, speaking of sunlight, there's a thing that photographers like to call golden hour.
Golden hour. Tell me about golden hour.
Golden hour is usually right around sunset.
Okay.
Actually, I've never been awake for sunrise golden hour, but I would guess it's probably the same thing.
Because it's the sun filtered through the atmosphere in a way different from midday.
It is, and it produces a nice golden, wonderful, diffused kind of perfect low-level light.
Flattering.
Very, very flattering. It's so funny. Sometimes it'll be like 6 or 7, and we'll be doing something, and I'll be like, look, Kat,
golden hour.
We gotta go out, and we gotta go out to the river because where we live, the sun sets across the river, and so like, we gotta go to the river and like get pictures, and we'll run out there, and I'll make Kat take like 50 pictures of me with the sun bouncing off me just right.
And the picture on this episode, for those of you who see that, is one of my favorite pictures of Faith at golden hour.
Yeah. I don't know what picture that's going to be.
Well, that's because we're in the past and they're listening to this in the future.
Oh my God.
You're getting weird.
Do you guys have flying cars?
Are there space skateboards?
Oh my gosh. Have the robots taken over?
Because I would kind of be into that.
I would hope so. I feel like AI would do a good job governing us.
We've fucked it all up.
Yeah. So, speaking of AI is often used in machines, like cameras or phones.
Nice transition.
Isn't it? Chances are you're going to be using a camera or a phone to take your picture, as opposed to something like a box with like a little pterodactyl in it.
Pinhole. Yours is better.
Carving your picture in stone. Use a timer if you can. Everyone takes selfies. We all do. I certainly couldn't ever criticize anyone for taking selfies. Well, I could, but I'd be a gigantic hypocrite. So, you can use the timer setting on cameras, on phones. They all have it.
It's pretty user-friendly. It's there. Invest a couple of minutes, figure out how to use it, because it really does come in handy.
It does, and that'll give you a chance to do some full body shots or just something beyond a selfie. Obviously, we all like selfies. It's nice and easy, but
you can do this without your arm in the picture.
Without a photographer, and your friends are going to get tired of stepping in and being photographer. That's a great way to do it. I also got one of those little... I got a little claw tripod, one of those little ones with the kind of crinkly...
beaded legs kind of things. They're inexpensive. They work pretty well.
It was like 10 or 12 bucks off Amazon.
Yeah.
And it came with a little Bluetooth remote control. If you look at my Instagram... Follow me down below. You'll often see that in some of my pictures, like I'm holding a little remote in my hand.
I think in almost all of your pictures, I see the little black.
And I'll just sit there, click, 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 click.
And then you can just keep moving around this side of your face, that side of your face, a little up, a little back, and just keep clicking, and you don't have to reset the camera or anything like that. It comes in handy. You had to download an app or something on your phone to use it,
No.
though, right? Really?
No, it's just Bluetooth.
Oh, wow.
I had to figure out how Bluetooth works, but I never used Bluetooth before.
Our listeners know Bluetooth.
Yeah. So
They're
speaking of kind of moving around and stuff, you want to find a good angle that's going to work for you. So, and every time you go out to take pictures, there's going to be a lot of kind of things you're going to have to just play around with. Where the light source is.
Sure.
How you kind of want to stand. What's going to really work well for you as far as your best angle. Some people say getting a photograph from the front straight onto your face is not as flattering as, say, slightly to the side. Obviously, if you're like me and have issues with your profile, you may not want slightly to the side. You may want a flat on. It just depends on you.
Whatever you like best.
Yeah, whatever you like best. As we mentioned with the little claw tripod, you can also get full-size tripods. You can get a ton of different types of tripods. Or you can also find a flat, even surface.
Yeah, put it on a bookshelf.
Yeah.
That's the right height. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to invest in hardware.
Yeah. And once you get that set up, you found your angle, try 100,000 different poses.
It just takes so many pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So oftentimes you're always like legs together,
right?
When I take pictures. But like hand on your hip, kind of one arm, one side a little bit toward the camera, hand on your hip, like smiling. That's the red carpet pose. Google like any actress red carpet, and they're making this red carpet pose, which is kind of like a 30-degree tilt toward the camera, one hand on one hip. Shoulders back, arched.
They figured out the most flattering way to stand. And this stance kind of narrows that overall picture. It's slimming.
Yeah.
And you still have this full face presentation. So it's a bit of an optical illusion.
It is.
Yeah.
Google this red carpet pose because every Hollywood actress does it. And once you see it, you'll be like, red carpet pose. And you try it on yourself. You try it yourself and like, it'll take you a little while to figure it out. But once you do, you're like, red carpet pose.
Get it.
Perfect. But red carpet pose may not work best for you. Try a lot of different poses. Again, you're not paying for film. If you are paying for film, God bless you.
You're doing something wrong, guys.
There's hipsters out there who like doing it the old-fashioned way.
We love our hipster listeners.
These lithographs, sure. Yeah. One of the things that, the selfie angle, we used to call it the MySpace angle back in the day. People tend to look a little better from above.
Meaning hold the camera above your line of sight, kind of, and you're looking up into the camera.
Otherwise, you kind of get, you might get a double chin effect if the camera's below you. A photo from below is kind of like one of the least flattering ways you can get your photo.
Obviously,
the
there's
nostril
exceptions, but for the most part, if you can avoid being photographed from below, do that.
Yeah, so photograph from above when you can. Again, trial and error.
Yes.
Because your light source is going to be different, your room is going to be different, your pose is going to be different. Obviously, if you're showing off your makeup versus if you're showing off your like cool outfit.
Yes.
It's going to be different.
Totally.
So, just try.
Play with it.
Exactly. One of the things I will absolutely say for trans girls and cross-dressers, when you're trying all these different looks and things, different poses, different angles, smile.
Smile!
Because so many people don't smile in their pictures. And I will say this for people who are trying to be more feminine. Our society likes to tell women that they need to be pleasant all the time.
Smile, honey.
Exactly. And a smile can like literally make you look better.
You'll look prettier.
You
Probably.
do.
Yeah.
And I didn't smile in my pictures for ages. I would do this kind of like coquettish or angry, one of those two looks.
Really?
Coquettish was just kind of
angry?
looking off to the side. And then the other look was like sort of just like a mean kind of look.
Kind of narrowed eyes.
Narrowed
sort of
eyes,
thing.
thing. And then I started smiling in like 2011, and all of a sudden my pictures got way better. One other thing that's going to help your pictures look better, I hope you're taking notes because we're just burning through these.
Just going through all this good advice.
You want to stick your chin out.
Chin out.
The area underneath your chin is parallel to the ground. And then you want to kind of angle it down a little bit. And that'll help you ensure that you don't get any double chin.
So chin out and down.
Yep, chin out and down. And
not one move, two separate moves. Out.
Yep.
Down.
And that is the society page. Yes, because if you ever see like the New York Times society page, the most boring part of the paper.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of identically dressed old ladies.
Why do they even have that
at various
still?
luncheons?
I have
no idea. I have no idea.
No.
Obviously, it's a fit you print. So, I don't know.
Chin out, chin down.
Yeah.
Smile.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And that'll help kind of eliminate any, potential double chin issues you might have. Again, take lots and lots of pictures.
So many.
So many pictures.
All of them.
Tons of pictures. Again, I'm talking about professional photo shoots. If you look at a professional photo shoot, you watch video of one, go on YouTube, there's probably thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
You will hear that camera like
constantly.
click, yeah, so fast you can barely separate the two. They will literally take, on a professional photo shoot, they will take 10,000 photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they will go through them all to pick the one best one.
The perfect one.
Yeah. And again, digital cameras, there's no reason to not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So take all those photos and then go through and find the good ones. And here's going to be the hardest part for you. When looking through those bad ones, remember that everyone takes bad photos.
More bad ones than good ones.
Yeah.
The good ones are amazing. And they're not an accident. You really do look that good.
Yeah.
But everything we've been saying this whole time, if you do the opposite, you get bad photos. If there's too much light or a double chin or the wrong angle, bad photos. It's not on you.
Mm-mm.
It's just what's happening. It's just what was captured in the light sensitive film or whatever it is for digital.
Sensors of some sort.
Some kind of sensor.
It's like we said at the beginning, it's a numbers game. And it's literally like a situation where you take hundreds. Try not to get down about the bad ones. You can take the most beautiful cis woman on the planet and take photos of her, and there's going to be crappy ones.
Guaranteed. Pick your favorite Hollywood star and Google bad photos, and they're out there. But that's not nice. So don't do that unless you really have to.
Yeah, but if it helps you feel better about yourself. Mm-hmm. I actually tried to start a Reddit thread, but
of bad photos?
I posted bad photos of me because people were like, do you ever take a bad photo? I'm like, yes, all the time.
Here's
some bad photos. And people are like, you don't look bad in those. I'm like, yes, I do.
That's the tricky thing. What if they're not bad photos?
Well,
it's just you.
No, I absolutely take bad photos. I 100% take bad photos. I take more bad photos than good photos. Don't get discouraged.
Yes.
Don't look at other people's photos and go, oh my God, she's so beautiful. They're so handsome, whatever.
They're playing the numbers game too, guys.
They are. Absolutely. And here's something else to remember. When you take video, you tend to look better in video.
Really?
Because our brains tend to erase any of the weird kind of expressions we make in the course of things.
So the things that stick in the mind are the normal, attractive looking ones. Okay.
But if you take still photos, you're going to get weird ones that your brain would normally just kind of edit out.
Oh, yeah. Like if you ever pause any video and someone's eyes are halfway closed and their mouth is all weird and you're like, wow, I thought Reese Witherspoon was an attractive woman.
Yeah.
But now that I've paused, Walk the Line.
Yes.
That's the movie, right?
She's been in a number of movies.
No, that's her movie.
Sweet Home Alabama.
No, her
Legally
movie.
Blonde.
No.
Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. I would say if Reese Witherspoon is famous for anything, it's probably Legally Blonde.
Pause the movie at any
Cruel
point.
Intentions.
She's going to look weird. And it's not her fault. We all know that Reese Witherspoon is a beautiful woman.
Pleasantville.
Wow, you're a real fan.
I'm not even a fan. I just happen to know that Reese Witherspoon has been in more than...
Walk the Line is the one she got the Oscar for.
Okay, good for her. Congratulations, Reese.
Talented and beautiful.
Yes.
Just like all of our listeners.
But she takes bad photos.
Everyone does.
Everyone does. So don't get discouraged. Mm-mm. That's the thing. Don't get discouraged. Practice.
Have fun. This is fun. Really, honestly, don't get discouraged. It is just fun. And go through a bunch of others and you're like, weird photo, not person. Delete them. They never happened, you guys. I'm not going to tell.
No.
Faith's not going to tell.
No, delete them.
It's secret between the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are cute, the ones that are good, the ones where you're foxy, show everyone.
Yeah.
Or everyone you feel safe showing.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to add a corollary to this.
Okay.
Because we got to talk about this. The old Adobe Photoshop.
Oh, Photoshop.
And I want to say that Photoshop is like any tool. Can be used for good and evil.
Yeah.
It can be used to enhance your photos.
Yes.
So this is basically a whole separate episode. But one of the things to remember is our brains are lazy. And so they like high contrast images over low contrast images. Digital cameras tend to take lower contrast images, and that has to do with the way the sensors work.
Compared to film?
Compared to film. Yeah.
Interesting.
And so you can go into Photoshop. Your phone probably has something similar to Photoshop.
You can totally do this on your phone. You can edit
on your phone. Or you can use the Instagram filters. Most of the Instagram filters just do high contrast. And that makes the pictures better because our brains aren't working as hard and they're like, I am lazy and I didn't have to work as hard as that picture. It must be good. There's a whole video that I believe Vsauce did about that. It was either, science YouTube channel.
Okay.
And if it's not Vsauce and it's Veritasium, either way, I will link down
below.
It's one of those two. Two science guys, both start with V. You can also use Photoshop. You know, there's things like the liquify tool in Photoshop where you can, that's what they do. They go crazy with the liquify tool.
Okay.
You can reshape your entire body into a giraffe shape if you want. You can go completely insane. Or you can use it to just clean up some tiny imperfections.
Yes.
And I am guilty of this. I will absolutely use it to do some simple basic things, and to me that's not cheating because you can't take a bad picture and make it good in Photoshop, but you can take a pretty good picture and make it amazing in Photoshop, and that's what I try to do. Go find tutorials, use what's on your phone, increase the contrast a little bit, or use one of the filters that does it. And I think Facebook has filters too.
There are ways to auto improve your photo. Right in the camera option, there's automatically improve the photo.
And that's in Photoshop too. You can do auto tone, auto color, auto contrast.
So do that if you feel like it, but if you're going for a realistic photo, I would recommend just clean up a few flaws here and there and then walk away.
And then, increase the contrast a little bit with an Instagram filter or the curves in Photoshop,
Play with it if you want. Make your eyes bigger, make your chin smaller. You can have fun with it, certainly. But if you're going to post here's a picture of me.
Yeah.
At some point, it's recognizable as...
there's actually an app someone showed me that you can basically turn yourself into an anime, with gigantic eyes and tiny chin and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like that's kind of obvious. Yeah.
No, you're not fooling anybody.
You might fool some people. You never know. People are kind of dumb. Not our listeners.
Not you guys.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Faith. That's super helpful. You guys, if this helps you or if you have your own tips, let us know or send us some awesome pictures.
Yeah, we'd love to see your best picture. What's your best picture and what's your best tip?
Yes, definitely. Or if something you learned here today has suddenly been a watershed movement in your photo taking life, let us know. What's the big tip that knocked things into place for you? We would love to know.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, everyone.
Talk to you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
We have many different levels of support and lots of great rewards,
including drinks with the Gender Rebels at Stonewall.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That makes it easier for other people to find us.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com or find us on Twitter @TheGenderRebels.
Music for The Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
The Gender Rebels is a
Come Back Sync
production, copyright 2018. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Bye.
Good sneeze.